Hey guys, got something I want to share with you. Another book of mine to tie in with the Buckland show in Canning Street, and also to further commemorate 200 years of Dinosauria. I'm going to keep spoilers to a minimum here. We start off in Shanghai with our protagonist from Canning Street. As if anyone is familiar, but really that doesn't matter. She's purchasing a ruby ring, and the jeweler explains the origin of the red stone is Libya. Her imagination runs wild regarding the origins, the same way some of us pondering where some of the things we purchase come from. We then cut to 95 million years ago in Patagonia, Argentina, where we see everyday life of the impressive local fauna inhabiting forests and open plains. Now, some of the species are renowned from the fossil record and intensively studied, but like in the prehistoric segments of Canning Street, I've included some fictional specimens. We have Argentinosaurus, the big champ. For them, every day is a fight for survival, regardless whether they're an infant or an adult, competing to be the biggest sauropod in the region. Well, regardless, they're still at risk of meeting their end at the jaws of marauding bands of Mapusaurus, as well as other predators, which include Scorpio venators, Megaraptorids, Dromaeosaurs, Notosuchids, and a myriad of pterosaurs. A flock of ancestral pteranodon, called Andepterist, meaning Andeswing, in relation to the Andes Mountains, are seen migrating across the young Atlantic Ocean eastward while evading marine predators, which include Platypterygius and Cretoxyrhina. As the sun sets, a rare phenomenon occurs in which the sun briefly flashes green, known as the green flash. We then transition to what will become the bedrock of Libya, but in contrast to Patagonia, it is a lush tropical setting, ridden with mangrove swamps and floodplains, and an incredible biota. Here the fauna are based off specimens from the surrounding Kem Formation, as well as Baharia Formation, where we all have the big players, an area that was home to 3 large theropods in a highly competitive conflict over food biomass. Yep, that includes Spinosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, and the lesser-known Deltadromeus. We also have a variety of crocodilomorphs, including the saber-toothed Caprasuchus, the massive filter-feeding Stomatosuchus, and the dog-sized galloping Ararepasuchus, which the public are completely unfamiliar with. But now the main focus here is on a brooding pair of noasaurs, called Mustanquiraptors, that have evolved to nimbly maneuver along the mangrove roots and are able to dive into the water and swim after fish prey. I had initially written Spinosaurus as a quadruped, but had to arduously undergo the task of switching back to a biped during the 2020 revelation, which also showed the crested tail, which consummates the semi-aquatic lifestyle. It was difficult doing all that. After a battle between all 3 of the local colossal theropods, now I'm not going to go into detail there, for spoiler's sake, the male Mustanquiraptor leaves the nest to go hunting and has an encounter with one of the Andepterists from the migration scene. They face each other off, but the Mustanquiraptor backs down and takes a detour. From this, he spots something unusual in the sand by the coast. Something red, which he digs up and, like a magpie, takes it back to the nest. This is the same redstone that will be cut and put on the gold ring for our human protagonist 95 million years later. Despite the title, it's not actually set during the Turonian stage, but in the Cenomanian, just prior to an extinction event that would see the die-off of Spinosaurids, Carcharodontosaurids, as well as Ichthyosaurs and Pliosaurs. The sunset of the Cenomanian stage, and the sunrise of the Turonian. The prehistoric scenes are kept to the confines of Gondwana, and highlights why many of the animals look so similar on account of the drifting continents tens of million years previously joined to one another. Now, the names of the fictional animals are a blend of Spanish and Latin. That's for the Patagonian segment. And in the second act, it's Arabic and Latin. The cover is a photo I took on a beach in Thailand over 15 years back. I put it through a couple of filters and gave it a green tint, homage to the green flash segment. Red is indicative of the redstone, which is the underlying driving force behind the plot, and I include Spinosaurus neural spines from the Ernest Stromer photo, as well as a subtle indication of what's to be expected. But, truth be told, it looks sort of like a shipwreck. I just kept it simple, plus I don't have the money to afford a real extravagant paleo art cover, but maybe in a future edition I'll have one done by an artist. TURONIAN Sunrise is suitable for ages around 8 to 10 years, but specifically for those with in-depth knowledge of dinosaurs, and contains graphic natural world violence and surreal scenes. It's available in paperback and Kindle. I recommend Kindle as it's cheaper. If any of you finished Turonian, please give it a like on Amazon and a review. Share it with others, and I'd really like to hear some feedback, especially regarding the depictions of the dinosaurs. So be free to leave a comment on my channel. Thank you very much if you made it to the end. I've got another book I wish to share with you. I'll do that in due course. Still got a big backlog of models. And have any of you heard the news about the how long good Argentinosaurus? I mean, I hear it's going to be pricey, and I really want to get that. Be disappointing not to, but we'll see. Right, you guys, take care.